Hey guys, I want to talk in this video about you get into a tournament and you're getting ready to have a match, and most places will give you 5 minutes or something like that to like warm up, get used to the table, whatever you're going to do. I want to talk about what I try to do in those situations. A lot is going to depend on the game that I'm playing. So this first example is I'm playing 9-ball. I'm playing 9-ball, and in that particular game, there's a lot of emphasis on trying to make a certain ball on the break. Either in this case, I'm trying to do this with my hand, sorry, with the 1 on the spot, like make the 3 in this corner, or if everything's moved up to where the 9 is on the spot, then the good players will be making the 1 in the side. So if I'm playing 9-ball, no matter where at least once, I just want to shoot it. The point of this warm-up is not for me to all of a sudden learn how to put this 1 in the side or make the wing ball in the other case. It's not about that. It's just, okay, with my particular stroke today, this particular table, these particular balls, this situation where I'm getting ready to play a match with this stuff, what is going on? So I'll typically just go and just shoot the shot. Those balls won't rock particularly well at all. Obviously I had to shoot my hands, but it came way short. So hit the 1 a little bit more full. Just kind of file that away for future reference. In 8-ball or 9-ball, the times that I would typically get into trouble would be playing position, and it usually ends up being like a speed thing. The table's playing faster or slower than I'm expecting. So like this case, I'm just going to shoot the 9 there and the 5 there. But what I want to do is, okay, I'm going to shoot the 9 and play what I think is going to be straight in position on the 5 and see what I really get. So the cue ball went too far. Again, not trying to all of a sudden master getting straight in position on the 5. Just going, okay, my stroke today and all that, the ball's running faster than I thought. File that away. It's usually the speed that gets me really more than anything else. I can make the shots okay as long as I have a somewhat reasonable shot. But sometimes I don't have a reasonable shot, and a lot of times that's because of the speed. I want to talk about bank flow, which is what I play a lot. I have some like reference shots that I'll use. One is from the second diamond to .8. Line these 2 balls up, firmer speed, no English, and make sure that goes in. I can shoot it a couple times. It's easy enough to set up. Make sure that goes in. It doesn't go long. Typically, if a shot like that is going to be missed by me, it's going to come short. On some tables, it'll come short. If it does come short, I'm going to shoot it again. Make sure I didn't just miss-hit it the first time around. If it keeps coming short, again, just file that away for future reference. These steep angles coming into the rail could potentially be coming short. The next shot I'll shoot is one I talked about in a recent video. It's from 5 diamonds up to 2 diamonds up that way. This is like the middle area. Typically, this kind of shot doesn't deviate so much, like compared to this one. If I get on a red label diamond and shoot the shot that I just did, it's almost always going to come short at the speed I hit it at. This shot, it's not affected that much. At this particular angle, whatever this is, it's not 45 degrees, or whatever it is. From the 5th diamond to the 2nd diamond, firm speed, no side spin. We'll usually just go in. If it doesn't, again, I'll shoot it again just to make sure that I didn't just screw something up. If it does go in a couple times in a row, maybe, then I'm like, yay, it went in a couple times in a row. Next one I'll shoot a little bit more of a shallow angle. 6, 7, 8 diamonds to 3.2. I talked about all this in a recent video. 8 times 4 is 32, so 32. So set this shot up. I'm not trying to master making the shot. I'm just saying, okay, if I'm in a game and my opponent just missed and left me this, can I just bend over and shoot this ball in? Or is there an adjustment that I have to make because this table's playing long or this table's playing short? Just trying to give my inner pool player a little bit of extra information. To me, that's what this warm-up time is for. It's not, well, it's not necessarily just for warming up, although I'll get to that. It's not for practicing, oh, quick, man, I got to learn how to make the shot. It's, I already know how to make the shot down here on my table most of the time. But what is this tournament table acting like? What's it doing? So again, went right in. That pick angle is another one where speed and humidity and things don't affect it that much. They do still affect it, just not as much. And the last one I'll typically do is a much more shallow bank. 9 still in that same pocket, lined up from this diamond to this diamond. This is a shallow enough shot that a lot of times this will lengthen out. Like remember before down there, a lot of times on whatever weird equipment, it'll shorten up. This is the kind of situation where the shot will lengthen out. On new cloth, absolutely will lengthen out. It'll come into this rail, and instead of bouncing like a normal ball, it'll slide and then bounce and go long, hit the short rail. So just shoot it a couple times. Shoot it a couple times and see, okay, that's good. So this table for me right now is banking pretty fine. And I just do that just to tell my inner pool player, okay, what's going on? What's going on is right now this table is banking just perfectly fine for me. At steep angles, at medium angles, at shallow angles, it's banking perfectly fine for me at my speed and all that. If I'm playing one pocket, I will shoot a shot like this during my warm-up. Shoot this 9, try to get it straight down there, straight into that pocket at very slow speed and see what happens. It looked to me like that 9 took a little curve to the left once it got to about right here, about a diamond and a half. Just not enough to miss, but a little curve. Notice I am off the rail here. If I was down here on the rail, it'd be very tough. Plus there's a rail groove here. So I want to make sure I'm off of that. So, because I thought I detected a slight curve to my left, I'm going to shoot the same shot again. And see. I don't know if that shows up on camera or not, but there's a very slight curve to the left. Now maybe if I get into it, you know, my match, and I need to shoot a ball down this rail, then maybe I will remember that. Hey, maybe don't shoot it quite so soft because it might roll off. Maybe if you get a shot like this, shoot it at more like a speed I'm comfortable with anyway. I'll do the same thing over here. Nice and soft. No side spin. Yeah, hit it right in the long rail. So that really doesn't count because I hit that one bad. Because I hit the long rail, what, about right here? That's not an indicator that the table has a problem. It's an indicator that I suck. So we'll just try that again. To me, it looked like the ball was also starting to turn to the right, starting about right here, actually. And then it curved a little bit back to the left, starting about right here. Yeah, it might be time to get this table leveled once I get the cloth replaced. But shoot it again. These balls, while they are very good balls, they're not perfect. That time, it looked to me like the 12 went that way a little bit. About right here. I typically will not shoot a ball that softly anyway, but there are situations, especially when playing one pocket, where you want to hit a ball at pocket speed. And I just need to remember, hey, depending on the situation where the other balls are, maybe I don't want to shoot this 12 at pocket speed. Maybe I want to shoot it a little bit harder. Maybe I want to cut it to my left a little bit. Typically, I would prefer to shoot a little bit harder because I don't feel like I'm going to miss it at that kind of speed. That may just be me being overly confident. So I've talked about watching the table speed and stuff like that. Depending on how much time I have, I can do things that I think should work. But let's find out if they work on this table. I'm playing one pocket. That's my pocket. I'm going to shoot the 6 and just try to drift straight over and get straight in on the 12. This is a shot that I feel like should work for me, but maybe not these current conditions, my current conditions, whatever. In this case, it worked just fine. But now I know that, so I don't have to worry about it, in a tournament, in the match, whatever I'm playing, money match, tournament match, whatever. Having all that done and whatever, just put into my brain, my inner pool player now knows what's going on. Sometimes I will shoot a shot like bank this 12 back here. Slight angle again. I'm not in the real groove. I'm out a little bit. And all I'm trying to do is see how much English is going to be on this 12 when it hits that rail. So I'm trying to cut the 12 to about here and see if it has enough spin left to come back towards this pocket. Sometimes this shot is not that bad. Sometimes it's really bad. So the first time side spin at all. When you can't hit the point, you have to actually cut it. In case I didn't mention that. Let's try this again. This time, let's really actually and truly cut the ball, David. So that ball had no spin. When it got to that rail, it had none. It came back at basically exactly the angle it should have come back at. If I shoot this a couple times, I'll see, okay, my spin is not transferring today. This particular kind of shot is just as much my fault as the table might be. My stroke is not good enough to transfer all this spin. This time I'm going to put just a little bit of left on it. I have to allow for the fact that now I have spin into stroke trying to throw the 12 that way. So it kind of has to look to me like I'm cutting it even more to my left. Then I have to jab the ball. Still didn't quite come back enough. And there are going to be nights, I hit that ball really well, in my opinion. There are going to be nights where I'm going to make, if I hit a ball that well, it's going to go in 10 times in a row. Today, no. My warm-up match for my tournament, my hypothetical one I'm talking about here, no, it's not going to happen. So I just know that. Know if I get into a situation where I feel like, hey, I can shoot this and make it. No, I just just tried that, and it's not working for me today. So find something else. Find something else to shoot. Looking at dirty balls, trying to figure that stuff out. Yeah, I am not trying to practice making the shots. I'm trying to see what happens on shots. Well, I guess shots I either make, or at least I know what's kind of going to happen. So this time I'm going to try to cut the 12 into that corner. If the balls are nice and clean and my vision is halfway decent, I kind of know I can get the 12 close. Sometimes it even goes in. But if the balls are filthy, there's no way that the 12 can be hit thin enough to go in that pocket. It's going to hit the short rail every time. So just find out. Just shoot it and see what happens. So that's perfectly fine. These balls are nice and clean. It just reminded me of another shot. Just talking about speed again. I do not have the best draw stroke in the world, in case nobody's ever watched any videos with me griping about that. If I want to shoot to 12 with draw, my maximum draw, whatever, it's going to be pretty pathetic. There are going to be people that will hit the ball with so much backspin that the cloth might burst into flames from the friction just because of that. I'm not one of those people. On a good day, I can shoot this 11, draw back to this area. On a really good day, I can go further than that. I think once in my life, I've actually hit the other short rail on a 9-foot table, on this 9-foot table. But I'm just trying to get a feel for the speed. You know, the other shot that I did, where all I did was drift over, I mean, that was, a speed, gauging the speed. This is like a combination of speed and stroke, whatever you want to call it. Just shoot the shot and just kind of see what's going on. I mean, I feel like I hit that one pretty well. There are going to be days when I have that same feeling where it's going to go almost all the way to the foot rail. There are going to be days where it's only going to come back this far. It's going to depend on the equipment and all that. So to shoot it, at this point, I'm as warmed up as I'm ever going to be, probably. I like to shoot shots to kind of quickly figure out what is the table doing. If I still have more time and still feel like messing with stuff, then I kind of do what, like Scott Frost advised or suggested to do this in one of his videos, is if you're going to use your warm-up time for warm-up, not just evaluating the table, just for warm-up, just set up easy shots. Set up stuff that you can make. You get to move your arm and just set it up and just shoot it. And then I can go into my tournament match, whatever, having made, 90 or maybe even 100% of my shots. Instead of, doing things like, some players, I've talked about this before, Dennis. Dennis has like a personal assistant or guy that would spot the ball for him. But I've seen him in warm-ups practicing, like shooting this one into that corner with like top left. And of course he's Dennis, so he's making it 90% of the time. Me, I miss it 90% of the time. But shooting that, and then his personal assistant would just slide it back up. He put the ball back, shoot it. I don't see the point of practicing warming up on a shot like that. Well, you're almost never going to shoot it in any kind of a match. You're almost always going to have something better. And B, I don't want to go in and start my match having missed 90% of my warm-up shots. Because then I'm starting my match thinking, you know, how much I suck. I don't want that. I want to have shots that are easier for me, makeable for me, and then I can go into my actual match with just a little bit of that extra confidence. Helps me out. Everybody's going to have a different approach. Mine is see if the table is doing anything weird. I guess if I'm doing anything weird, what can I make? Does anything seem unusual for me? And then if I still have time, start looking at things like actual warm-up. Shoot some easy shots. Get my arm loose, things like that. These are the things that I do. Like I said, other people's knowledge is going to vary, but that's just what I do. So, thanks, guys.